Question is, I've got a tour coming up on the bike, a racing tour. I've been training hard the whole year. Do you have any tips, training-based tips leading into the last 2 weeks before this race tour? And obviously dietary, eat a lot of fruit, but I drink beetroot juice and have banana and date smoothies. But I do eat some meats and green curries. Please convince me why I should cut out everything except fruit before the tour. I have seen your Strava power puts and they are impressive. I train a lot more than you. Could your results also be physiological, not dietary? Because obviously not everyone will go from couch potato to pushing 540 watts. Anyways, I love the vegan lifestyle. I've tried it for a week, but I crave other foods. One day I'll convert, kind regards. So the question here, fellow cyclists, let's get the first one down. So you've got a tour coming up. Well, you've been training all year for something. 2 weeks of extra training isn't going to do anything. Like, you can't get gains in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you need to be doing stuff a lot longer to build up that physiological response. So training-wise, all you can do 2 weeks out is make sure you're rested for this race. Okay, you got to be rested for it. You got to be tapering off versus get to the event and be overtrained, a little bit overtrained and a bit apathetic versus undertrained a little bit and like super hungry. I'll tell you what, the main reason people do drugs is for that psychological pump, that like aggressiveness. So you always want to be a little bit undertrained and hungry for the win versus a little bit overtrained and a bit apathetic, like, oh, that's the break, maybe it will come back later on, blah, blah, blah. So that's what you want to do. You want to be tapering off those last 2 weeks. Maybe drop it down to 200 Ks a week. Max. 200 Ks a week, just pedaling around, maybe do a few Strava segments here and there. But obviously, if you're racing at level, you're going to know what to do. But that would be my tip, is 2 week taper for this race. So you get there fresh and fucking hungry to dominate and hungry to suffer. Next question was, I eat a lot of fruit, blah, blah, blah. Please convince me why I should cut out everything except fruit before the tour. Well, fruit's going to be your best, but I'll tell you what, if you're traveling around eating just fruit, you might limit your caloric intake, your glycogen resynthesis every day. So you'll come to the race day, you might be eating healthy, but you haven't been eating enough, so you're not going to have enough glycogen synthesis, so your power's going to be dropping. So you want to be eating at least 10 grams of carbs per kilo body weight per day. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get the power you need to push the pedals to your genetic potential naturally. Why should you cut out everything but fruit? Well, I wouldn't say cut out everything but fruit, because vegetables are good. It's all about if you can get enough calories. I'm not sure where you live, but I've been to places where you couldn't get enough fruit. When I cycled from Adelaide to Perth, I couldn't get enough fruit. I'm obviously going to stay vegan because that's what means a lot to me, ethical, health-wise, everything else-wise. But I couldn't get enough fruit, so I was living on cornflakes with water and jam, bread, vegan bread with Vegemite on there and peanut butter. And that was okay. Obviously, I would have preferred the fruit because fruit is fucking high-performance fruit. It's sort of like riding your bike and it's really sunny. And you got your preferred glasses that don't let the wind in, they sit on your head good, they don't fall off. You can't get those glasses, so you pick up some cheap, crappy things that still do the job. You can still ride into the horizon of the sun. It's not getting the glare, it's not dangerous. You can actually see where you're going because it's not too sunny. So if that makes sense, so you still want to get your carbs in. I found one of these on the side of the road. It's a wrapper. The wrapper is very common. So it's just it's sugar. Dextro Energy Sports Nutrition. These retail about $6 in Australia. How many grams of carbs we've got in here? So it's 113 calories, so it's going to be about 25-30 grams. 28 grams of carbs per one of these, alright? $6, 28 grams of carbs. Then you got your organic dates. We buy them by the fucking box, man. Buy them by the box from the wholesalers. 28 grams is probably about the same as 2 dates. So this is going to be lighter. It's going to be easy to use race fuel. Obviously, you take the pits out beforehand, just close them back up again. Try and roll them up, and they might get a little bit sticky in Jersey, but it's fine. And just boom, whack them in your mouth. Fucking around one of these, pulling the cap off. This is like, how do you do that? Reach in the Jersey, put a date in your mouth, already taking the seat out before you start your race. Fucking easy. But let's just say I was in a race and I ran out of dates for whatever reason. And 10 car rolls up with these. Would I use them? Definitely. They're vegan. They're vegan. But I'm going to prefer real food. You need sugar. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. You need sugar. You need a fructose lot of sugar every day. A fuckload of sugar every day. That's what you need. Fructose, glucose, sucrose. You need sugar. No sugar, no power. No power. Doesn't matter about protein and fat. You take carbohydrates out of a bodybuilder's diet, they're weak as piss. All the steroids, all the protein powders, creatine, all that shit. Take the carbs out, dead. Take carbohydrates out of a cyclist diet. Look what happened to Lance or Contador when they ran out of sugar on one of the big stages and the climbs. Done. All the drugs in the world, all the training, all the technology, everything in the world. Take the sugar out, it's finished, done. Sugar is the most important thing when it comes to food. The most important thing. So you can cut everything out. But if you don't get enough calories, enough carbohydrate calories, you're shagged. You're shagged. I'm not sure of your situation, so you might be in a situation where you can't get enough fruit. So then you'd have the backup plan of the rice, fruit juices, things like that. Some organic sugar sprinkled on your cereal or whatever. But fruit's always going to be the best. But again, the biggest problem with fruit is finding it. We live in a society that doesn't want people eating fruit. Because when you're a fruit eater, your consciousness starts shifting. It might sound all hippy-whippy woo-wah, but it's true. You start seeing things in a different way that you've never seen before. Whoever orchestrates society doesn't want people seeing the truth in society. They want people stuck in this meaningless pursuit of meaningless material items that we get, everyone else judges us based on our acquisition of this crap. What car do you drive? What's your postcode? Is that Rolex this year's model or is it 2 years old? Just meaningless crap like that. That's what people will get conditioned into. I've seen it, man. I've seen the most material people get into raw food lifestyle and just start just downsizing. Hang on, this gold watch doesn't mean fucking anything. I worked my ass off to get this piece of crap. People learn quickly. So, but getting back to the question, it's all about carbohydrates. It's all about carbohydrates. Why can I put out so many watts with so little training? I'm not putting out 540, by the way. I mean, maybe for a minute, but 65 kilos for 15 minutes, maybe 350 watts. So it's all about power to weight, watts per kilo versus 1,000 watts or 200 watts. It's watts per kilo is what matters. So why am I putting out such a high watts per kilo? One, I'm always fucking carved up. Always full glycogen. Every ride I do, full glycogen from eating 10 grams of carbs per kilo body weight per day. And anything over an hour, 1 gram of carb per kilo body weight per day. I'll have that below in the description, have a little block of text there. So I've always got full glycogen. I'm always hydrated. I never get thirsty. Ever get thirsty. Never get thirsty. Drink at least 2, 3, 5 litres of water a day. Drink at night time if I need to. I have water by my bed. If my mouth's a bit dry, sip the water. Never thirsty. Never dry. Ever. And I'm pissing in a bottle at night time. So I'm just... The garden loves me. The garden loves me. The nitrogen I put back in the soil, plants love it. Thirdly, I'm always getting enough sleep. I'm always going to bed getting sleep. I don't have children. I work behind the computer. I'm self-employed behind 70 hours a week. So I set my own hours. I go to bed early, percent of the time of the year. Sometimes I have late nights, but it's pretty rare. More when I'm traveling, I have late nights. So I'm always carved up, always hydrated, always getting early nights. When you stack that up, your body's just like ready to roll. Ready to roll. So that's how I can do so little training, but put out such a high watts per kilo. Because I'm taking care of my basic physiological needs. Everyone focuses on doing mega miles or whatever, which is cool, but they're not eating enough, not sleeping enough, not eating enough carbohydrates, they're not getting enough water, not getting enough early nights. So they just don't get the best out of themselves. And they're getting, I've got to do more training. It's like, no, you need to do less training and realise that training isn't just about on the bike. Training is eating enough carbohydrates. Training is eating low fat. Training is eating low sodium, so not carrying extra 4 kilos of water bloat up the freaking climb. That's another video in itself. So it's I could talk for hours on this one. But I do so well in so little training because I cheat. I'm a fucking lazy fucker, man. I am the laziest cyclist around. Ask anyone who I ride with. I'm always sitting on the back. I'm always sitting on the back, man. Always sit on the back with some excuse, like I'm the laziest cyclist around. I eat well, so I don't have to push so hard. That's just, I eat well so I can get Strava KOMs easily. But if I was like a junior, man, and you know, I'm not talented, man. When I was 17, I'd catch the bus versus ride my bike to school. People go, oh, it must have been a far distance. It was only about 1.5 kilometers from my house to my school. So when I was 17, I was catching the bus. I'm training with kids who are 17 who are fucking smashing it. Who are smashing it right now. So I definitely didn't have a talent at all. I just cheat in terms of eating well, getting the early nights, staying hydrated. And all my Strava KOMs, non-caffeine assisted. Non-caffeine assisted. So I haven't had a cup of coffee since 1999. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's definitely bad for your health. Getting off caffeine, a lot of people I see sitting at the coffee shops and just drinking coffee, and I'm like, why are you drinking coffee on a recovery day? Why are you drinking coffee during the middle of the week? If you're going to use caffeine, use it for race day only. Race day only. Otherwise, you're just burning your adrenal glands out, and you're going to have a lot shorter a career, or you're going to be dependent on stimulants and get into the other things. So now you're going to probably got another 20 questions, which is fine. Post comments down below, anyone, and we'll do some more videos, and we'll get those. We'll open these boxes of bananas and just get everything out on the table so people can learn more cycling tips. Because I am not born with talent. I'm a fucking lazy ass trainer. Lazy as. But I focus on things like bike fit, nutrition, hydration, early nights. That's what I focus on. And I train with a power meter. If you don't have a power meter, you're really shortchanging yourself. You got to get a power meter, 100%. If you want to get more out of your cycling, get a fucking power meter. Chop your hand off to get one. So quick take-home message, 10 grams of carbs per kilo body weight per day. Always pee and clear, at least 2 to 3 hours. Every 2 or 3 hours you're having a clear pee stream. So if you're pouring water out, it should look like water coming out. If it's yellow or straw, you need to drink more. Early nights, get to bed at least 7, 8, 9 p.m. every night, man. If you can't sleep, that's okay. Just lay there, relax, chill. Rest is as important as sleep. Just having laying back and just closing your eyes and just chilling out. You don't have to sleep. Just rest. You need to rest. And that's my 3 tips, dietary. Get a power meter, get a proper bike fit, mark it with a liquid paper pen so it's not slipping down. Taper off for big races. And that's it. And it's, like I said, it's always better to be a bit undertrained and hungry versus a little bit overtrained and apathetic. Very important. Count the fuck up. Want to learn more? Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you soon.